guys. Morning, guys. Sorry, there's a melodramatic intro there. In the car with D. Potentially could be the last time I drive into London for a while. It is Thursday, the 19th of March, and amid the rumours on the streets of London, the UK could be going into lockdown as of tonight, so we shall see. So if that happens, I'm just gonna have to sit on my drive, and it'll probably be quiet. It'll probably be better recording quality, so you know, everything happens for a reason. So there's a lot of people at the moment that are quite worried and have apprehension about work, jobs, income, and all that sort of stuff. And you know, this by no means is a plug. I'm not the best when it comes to selling or marketing. You know, when I try and ration with people, I end up trying to talk them out of services with me. You know, I don't know if it's this thing where I'm like trying to over deliver to state the claim that I am really ethical and moral in my choices, and I actually do myself a disjustice and do myself out of business. I do kind of know that's true. I'm not trying to overcompensate with being extra ethical or moral, but you know, like recently I teamed up with Arbonne, and I've had quite a few people. People knowing that it's like direct sales or direct marketing, and knowing how much I have an aversion to sales. They're like, why are you with this company? And you know, I had two options. I could have three options. I could have paid retail, which is hella expensive. Like, they're not a cheap company, but one thing I've noticed in life is you get what you pay for, you know. And if you can source products that are of a good quality, then you have to meet the value of that product, you know. Rob Moore has a formula which is I don't know, oh shit, I'm going to try and quote it now, I'm going to absolutely ruin it. Basically about fair exchange value equals money and stuff like that. So when you put a price on something, depending on the elasticity of its purchase, whether it's like really selling, and depending on your feedback, you could potentially keep incrementally increasing that price until you start to lose some of the elasticity, or people start coming back with complaints and dissatisfaction. You kind of then know that you've potentially reached the ceiling on your value. Now you can, like I say, I could have brought retail, it would have been a lot more expensive for me, or I could have signed up to become a preferred client, which would have enabled me to a level of discount, you know, which was, you know, a good chunk of discount as well. And then I'd be entitled to anything that I would then purchase would also be at that same discounted price. Thank you. So that was another option. But if you sign up to become an independent consultant, which basically means that you want to have a business, you get even more discount. Now, like I say, I believe in the company, and at that time I signed up as an IC to basically get the whole thing cheaper anyway. Like, I purely done it for further discount, yeah. And I fell in love with the products. I really did, and I just thought, wow, like, you know, I made the right choice, because I will now continue to use these products in my life, in my daily life, in my waking life. I will continually use them because I've found such a benefit in them in just 30 days, and I now get the cheapest price. Now, the other day when I was pricing bits up, if you go over another threshold, which was about £150, you get even more discount. So basically, let me just break it down. Like, a bag of protein is £64. Now, when I've spoken to other people who use protein, like, they're like, oh yeah, my bag is, you know, 50, 60 quid. So that's the same price, okay? That's like street value. If you become an IC, you get it for 50. If you become a preferred client, you get it for 50. If you become an IC, which is an independent consultant, you get it for 40. Now, because I was doing like a bulk order for some people the other day, the whole thing went above a certain value, and I think the threshold is around about £150. everything then went half price. So the actual bags of protein that I brought, not even for me, they were for another person, came to £30 each. And I'm like, whoa, that's like mega cheap. I personally feel, so I will continue to use their products. Like, that's a given. Just because I am conscious about what I put on my skin and my children's skin as well, And I think it's just peace of mind that, there's always the adage, isn't there? Like, you shouldn't put anything on your body that you wouldn't be prepared to eat. And when you look at some of the things, like, there's no way I'm going to sit there with a spoon and eat Timotei shampoo, but you can go and buy something like, what's the brand, like Nature Real or something like that, and they do like this coconut one. It smells delicious, like you want to just sit there and eat it. But yeah, that's why I didn't have in my. I thought, if I could, I don't know, have a trickle fund of income from this, cool. If not, I'm not bothered. Like, I love what I do, and I'm not looking to offset anything that I do to make way for this Arbonne business. I know that you build a team and you can potentially have your money working harder for you. It's an effort-based business though, so what you put in, you'll get back. So if you're blasé and kind of lapsed, like, you're not going to earn 6 figures from doing 2 hours a week. Like, it's an absolute wake up that you're not. I'm going to try and put aside 6 to 10 hours a week if I can, and that's just to be available. I remember years and years ago, I think it was 2012, I really got into juicing, and I became a real preachy prick about juicing. Like, anybody who had an ailment, some people were like, oh, do you know what, my shoulder hurts, right? I think it's a bit arthritic. And I'll be like, do you know what you need? You need bromelain. Get yourself some celery, get yourself a juicer, get yourself some pineapple, because bromelaine's really, really abundant in all of these products. Boom, boom, boom. Smash the juice, get it in there raw. And people were like, shut up with your juicing crap. Like, I don't care. And I thought, but I'm doing, like, I'm really trying to help you. Like, there's nothing in it for me. Go and buy a juicer. I'm sorry, how does that benefit me? But I'm trying to give you a better quality of life. Like, why do you sit there and suffer? Why are you suffering in silence? Why are you in pain? Like, you don't need to be in pain. But, do you know what? I took a lesson, because people were just like, back up, right? So I was like, okay, fine. Do you know what? Screw you. I've just found an absolute gem of a secret. And you don't want to know? That's fine, man. Cool, whatever. Screw you. That was, so I just started to juice the living shit out of myself. I went on cleanse after cleanse after cleanse. Like, I abused my body for so long. I'm an alcoholic. And I literally just pretty much, with other detoxes, other fasts, other cleanse, I pretty much juiced myself to health in about 18 months. And it got to a period of where I was probably about 60 days in from giving up the preaching, and people started coming over to me and they're like, oh God, you look amazing, like, your skin, this, that, you're glowing, your eyes are so white, blah blah blah, what are you doing? And I was just like, juicing. And they were like, what? I'm sorry, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing a thing called juicing. And they're like, okay, cool, tell me more. And I'm like, okay, well, so basically you just extract vegetable juice and fruit juice and you drink it. And people are like, why don't you just eat it? I'm like, because we're not. Like, this is why people are like ill. We're not eating the veg, we're not eating the fruit. And so, I then had a run-in with Jason Vale, because bless him, I love Jason, by the way. Jason is like a mentor to me, more than he'll ever know. Basically what happened was, I was selling juice fasts for people, like froze. I would juice everything. I'd put all my juice into a blast freezer, and then obviously like bottle it all up and everything like that, and then deliver it to people, and they would then do a juice fast. But at the end of it, very rarely people ever come back to me, because by the end of it I'd hyped Jason so much that they either went and brought his book, brought his whatever, his app, brought his juicer that he was endorsing at that time, and then they went on their juicing journey. Okay? But however, Jason got wind of my website and literally threatened to sue me for intellectual property rights and blah blah blah. Now, I'd done that juicing I was so passionate about juicing. I'd done it. I literally made, pounds. That's it. There was one time I'd done 6 juice orders for people. I juiced straight for 14 hours, and at the end of it, after buying all the veg and everything like that, like, my time was never even a factor. It never costed my time. I think after all of it, because obviously when I was buying bulk fruit and veg, I got things cheaper. I think I ended up making £60. That was it for 14 hours work sat there. But you know what? I absolutely loved it. And Jason, bless him, he was so cool, because I literally emailed him straight back. He was just like, give me your number, I want to talk this out. So I gave him my number, and he rang me, and I was on the phone to him for about an hour, and I was just like, listen mate, taking it from you, like, you've already said, like, my mission is to juice the world, but I need your help. And I'm like, I'm taking my cue from you. And he's just like, like, cool, you sound legit, you sound genuine, blah blah blah, I just have to really be careful. And I was just like, mate, I'm trying to help you, like, this is the best thing that I've found. And anyway, that's that. The next kind of preachy prick moment I went through was veganism. Again, you tap into like a holy grail of information where you start to feel better. Now, I just found in the simplicity of eating, the more and more essentially you subtract from what you're eating. The more simple you eat, the better it is. And so I just started to eat more and more simple, more and more clean, less of this, less of that, none of that, and I felt better and better and better. And again, out comes the preach, guys, you should get on veganism, my God, like, whatever, we've all had the arguments. And it's the thing that I think all vegans go through, like, they go through this like preachy activism. And the thing is as well, like, when you've kind of been in it for a few years, I first went vegan in 2012, when you've been in it for a while, you realise that this mentality and this behaviour isn't going to convert people, if anything, you have to have more empathy and more compassion to people who are choosing to eat meat, because I don't know, it's a tough one. For some people this is not for them, and to force the hand of people is dictatorship. And I know that there's the animals' welfare and stuff like that, but if people can't see that, I don't feel that you can ever force an awakening on somebody. People have to awaken to themselves. It's like with alcoholics. There's been crossroads, I'm sure, in my life that I actually can't remember, where people have said to me, you're an alcoholic, you have a drinking problem, you have an issue, with abuse, blah 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 blah. And until I was ready to admit, fucked up right now, I need help, that was never ever going to fix. That was never going to heal itself. So, massive tangent. Moving on to Arbonne. I'm not here to push all my friends away, drive my family up the wall. They're great products. I signed up as an IC because I now get the greatest amount of discount, which is great for me. Yeah, because I'm going to carry on using the products. And like with juicing, like with veganism, I'm just gonna do me. And when people start asking me questions like, oh, you look good, you look great, you look, this, how have you got so much energy? I'm then going to use my love to share, and I feel that, that's really, the best I can do. The company that I work for at the moment, I work in a gym. I do private personal training, as I'm sure you're aware. But I do actually work for a company. Now, I've worked for this company now for about 5 years. I'm 0 hours. I literally do nothing for them, bless them. They're such a great company. They have been amazing for me, and just adapted to every change and every need that I've ever had. I do a little bit for them and stuff like that, and it's all good. Now, there was a period where I seconded to a new contract, and I had an agenda of what I had to do, and just basically because of my background and my past, the guy who I kind of reported to at a much higher level He asked me to conduct like a full HR training audit and everything like that, given my background, and I was like, yeah, sure, no worries. So I done that, and then there was like a shortage in sales, and I was like, oh, I'm not a salesman. Anyway, so he then sets me up with this sales manager, but he was kind of like a big level, like, I don't know, regional sales or something like that. And I thought, okay, cool, because, you know, sales for me is something I've always backed away from. It's something I've always shied away from. I have an issue with selling, whether that's my worth, whether it's just sounding like a cheesy cock, I don't know. But it's something I have always had an issue with. And so I thought, do you know what? I'm going to grab it this time, because it's something that it's probably the last hurdle in business now that I need to overcome. And he turned around to me and basically was just like, listen, I would rather you tour somebody, walk them around the building and everything like that, and they leave without buying. He says, never sell anybody something they don't need. He said, because if that person walks away and comes back 3 months later, organically under their own steam, he says, you've there got a member for life. And I was like, do you know what? That's so true. And again, it just kind of re-emphasized this thing that I have within me about selling, which isn't good for me trying to overcome this hurdle. So obviously now, like, you know, I signed up to Arbonne, and I read 3 network marketing books in a week, and all of them are just like, get yourself in front of people, you know, like hand out 5 business cards a day, try and get in front of like 40 people a month, blah 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 blah. You need to convert this amount of people to your team. And I'm like, I don't know, you know, I'm very much in this for myself. I already have clients who ask me questions about it, because they're like, okay, I see you doing Arbonne. And I think people trust my opinion. I think people trust what I would have to say about something. And with Arbonne, as I've said, I am just going to walk my walk using their products. I think their products are great. That's it. If you don't, that's cool. If it's not for you, if you want to go and use another company, that's cool. If you don't want to use nothing, cool. Where I feel that my role comes in as an educator, as a coach, as a mentor, is, again, let's talk supplements, okay? I don't personally use supplements because I generally get everything I need from food, from whole food. People out there do use supplements for convenience because of their life. That's cool. I haven't got anything against that. If that's what you need to do in order to tick your boxes, that's absolutely fine. But then people are buying supplements that are doing possibly more detriment than good. They're loaded with sugar, they've got this and they've got that in them and stuff like that. Like, I know people are taking probiotics with dairy, and I'm like, really? Seriously? Like, explain to me in a sentence how you feel that's going to help your gut health and everything. You know, there's already been so many things like linked and attributed to like dairy consumption, and then you're taking like an enzyme to like help your gut health, and in actual fact it is potentially going to do the opposite. But I'm not in it to get into that at the moment. So there is a way where I can say, well, how much are you spending on that? Because this is what they offer, you know, and I think it's just about sharing my experience with love, you know. I don't feel that, you know, this is anything like a headmaster-pupil relationship of like, you need to stop taking that right now because it's bollocks, try this one. But, you know, that's really, I mean, wow, I'm up to 20 minutes. I just want to reassure people that I'm really not on the Arbonne trip to retire. I'm not looking to like close down my clinics or anything like that. It's such a breath of fresh air to have a company who sell a whole slew of different products that I'm happy to put my name to, that's all under one roof. You know, where, you know, as opposed to saying like, well, I've tried this from this company and that product from this company, and then at least now, like the easiest thing for me is I have a link to my website, so I can just say it's on here, boom, here's a link, go and buy it, and people can just go and buy it, and that's amazing. And like I say, I trust the products. I'm sorry this video is 20 minutes long. I want to reassure people that, you know, I'm not sort of driving sales for myself. If I do speak to you, if I do approach you, it's generally because I feel I can help you, and I am looking to give you the best quality of life. You know, and it's like, you know, if you do sign up as a consultant with me, like, that's cool. I mean, it's on me to help and mentor you success within that business. You know, obviously I can't give you success, but I can give you every tool that I've learned and every tool that I have as a coach. Now, my coaching services, you know, go on my website, have a look at the price of it. With this, you get that for free, which is cool. It all comes down to about me giving back and giving service, and this is what I'm like super passionate about. So yeah, anyway, I better go because I'm just about to go into London now, and I've got to like dodge tanks and the military by all accounts. So yeah, anyway, see you soon, take care.